it is that time again for us to get together and have a wonderful time learning about transformations from our Big Ideas book. Lesson 2.2, page 50. And I know you've read them, page 50 and page 51, and you've taken some notes in the appropriate places in your insert, or on your insert. Today we are going to apply what we learned to draw a translation in a coordinate plane and list the new location of the figure. Our essential question: how can you move a figure without turning it or flipping it? And does the figure change after moving it? Let's find out what's going to happen today. So, the information that you should have taken from the top of page 50, the first part of your notes, talked about what a transformation is. So a transformation is moving a figure to a new location. There's lots of ways to move it, not just one. We're only going to talk about one of those ways today. But when you move that figure to a new location, it becomes an image. So the new figure in the new location is called an image. So today, what type of transformation are we going to do to move that figure? Well, we're going to do a translation. And in a translation, you slide the figure. Notice it does not turn. You know, there's another thing it does not do. It does no flipping. Okay, no flipping. In other words, the orientation is exactly the same as the figure. So the image has a look that is exactly like the figure. Okay? One thing we really need to understand in a translation: every point moves the same distance and the same direction. So you might want to draw one. Now notice, to help you understand about orientation, I'm going to label here. And I'm going to put A, B, C, D. And then this thing translates. One of the transformations is to translate. In other words, it slides. And it slides over to the blue figure. And so now we have A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. This blue is called the image. And notice, every point moved the same direction and the same distance to go from A to A prime and C to C prime. Same direction, same distance, and it works the same for B and D. All right? So notice the orientation. This is what we started talking about. The orientation is the same because A is in the same exact location for the figure as it is for the image. In other words, I could technically pick up the image, the blue figure, and set it down right on top of the red figure, and the A prime would be right on top of the A. The B prime would be right on top of the B. The orientation is the same. So what we're going to do in this short video is we're just going to identify whether or not we have a translation. So it says, tell whether the blue figure is a translation of the red figure. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I realize when I photocopy this, it doesn't photocopy in yellow. So you can label it in some way. And you can say, this is the red, this is the blue. You can write it inside. If you have color, color it in. Whatever you choose to want to do. So that you know that we are actually going to go from the red. So this is the figure. And this blue thing is the image. Okay? So, how can we do that? Well, you can draw some lines. I go from this vertex right here on the red. Its corresponding vertex is right there. And that's how far it goes. Now I look. I find a different point. I'm going to use this point up here at the top of the arrow. And I'm going to draw to the top of the arrow on the other one. Is that line going in the same direction? Well, yes it is. Did it go the same distance? Well, I'm going to say yes, it did, even though I didn't pull out a ruler and measure it to be exactly sure. But it certainly looks like it as we look at it. So, yes, this is a translation. Okay, so the answer is yes. And if you wanted to explain it, points moved same direction and same distance. You might want to notice they're also exactly the same size. Might want to take note of that. Let's do our next example. Tell whether the blue figure again is a translation of the red. So you might want to label it red here, blue here. And again, when I draw lines from corresponding points, so right here I'm going to take this point right here at the top of the red lightning bolt, and I'm going to draw a line over to the top of the blue lightning bolt. Okay, that's a pretty long distance to go. If I come down here at the bottom of the lightning bolt, it doesn't go anywhere. So no, it didn't go anywhere. Not a translation. Why? Points did not move same distance. You can argue that they went the same direction, because I could come at this point right here and go to there, and that moves the same direction, but you can certainly not argue that they're the same distance. You can see every one of those lines is different. So identifying a translation, pretty straightforward. I'm sure you're not having too much difficulty with this one. However, if you are, please, 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 I'm begging you to ask questions when you come to class. So now you have a quick write, and I would like for you to draw them real quickly. So you can just draw these figures. When it comes to these suns, you can just draw a star if you want. I don't care how you draw it on your picture. I didn't feel like printing it out for you. I figured you can draw them. And then tell me if 1, 2, and 3, which ones are and which ones are not a translation going from the shaded to the non-shaded. So this one goes this way, shaded to non-shaded, shaded to non-shaded. Are those translations? When you're done, hey, take a quick break, and then come back ready to Ross and roll on some more fabulous notes on translations.